Matt Provence here in Newark at NJIT, where our special guest here right now is Lacrosse second-year assistant coach Sean Eccles. First of all, Coach, congratulations. An overtime victory and a 2-0 start. What does that mean for you, the young staff, and, of course, your team?
I think it's just good for the program. It's good for the guys to get wins. They work so hard off the field, and they just allow us to do our jobs and coach. And to see them have success, it really just hits you in the feels. It's really proud of them for the way they handled today and the way they handled last week. But for us, it's all about the work that they do every single day. And it's not necessarily about the wins, but when they do come, it's really good to see.
So I think about it, the first win, of course, beating a Big East team, first time for the program, a win at St. John's. But the way you won in overtime against Siena, never leading in the game until the final winning goal, does a win like that help almost build more character because you had to stay, and even though you were down by 3 at the half and trailed for a bulk of the game?
I think it's just a reflection of the way our guys handle themselves all the time. There was never a point in today's game where we questioned ourselves. There was never a point where we questioned what we do. They just really handled adversity and dealt with the ups and downs and the flows of the game, which every game has them. And I don't want to say that we're comfortable playing from behind, but at this point we kind of joke about it. Like, it doesn't faze our guys. They handle it, and they make big plays when it matters.
So with about a minute left, you get a goal to send it into overtime. Didn't take long in overtime before Jack Bowie was able to give you guys a 2-0 start. Talk me through the play. I mean, was this the design play? How did it all come about where you were going to win the game on that particular shot?
I mean, it's always better to be up a guy in overtime. That's an ideal situation. And really it was just the communication from the guys to us as coaches about what they wanted to run in overtime, and they did a good job of telling us what they wanted and what they saw out there. And it was a great job by Jack Bowie to execute when, he dealt with a lot of things throughout the game with his shooting where he wasn't necessarily hitting those shots, and to see him hit that one in overtime was a big deal.
Yeah, I think it shows the maturity. You do have a lot of seniors or returners on this team, and certainly I feel like in talking to a couple of the guys, they feel pretty confident about their chances of gelling and growing even more after last year's very successful first year under your regime. So you beat Siena, and I got to ask you this, because your brother, as I understand it, is coaching for Siena. He had bragging rights, I guess Thanksgiving, let's just say, because they won by a goal in a close one a year ago. What's it mean for the family from a fun perspective to be able to have bragging rights now this time around?
I think at the very least it's nice for my mom and dad to get to see both of us play on the same day. It's one less car trip for them.
Great point. Gas is expensive, Sean.
So we got a bunch of things in the cooker there. My little brother plays at Cortland, so they're stretched out. And for them to be able to see us both play at the same day against each other, I think it means a lot for them. And in terms of beating my brother, there's no bragging rights. There's no talking. There's no jabs back and forth. It really is. We just appreciate the moment, and, it's fun to share a profession with my older brother who I look up to and I respect. And to beat him means a lot, but it's 1-1 now, so we're even.
Well, and then here's the other thing, right? You're going to be rooting for them, most of the way from here on out.
Because every game.
So, and it is awesome for your parents to be able to have two athletes, turn into coaches and follow their dreams. So that's awesome as it is. But now the obvious question, all right, 2-0, coming off last year's 3-win season, you really had a good starting foundation with the new regime that you're a part of. Where does it go from here? How do you stay kind of grounded after winning the first 2 games? And, what do you think is the key for this team being able to continue to duplicate these types of efforts?
Just returning to our process. Our communication with them is never about wins and losses. Through last year, 3-10, there was never a Monday film session where it was about win or loss. Obviously, you want to win. Everybody wants to win. That's why we do things. But at the end of the day, our process and our work ethic is what got us here. And it's just continuing to do that on a daily basis.
And along with that, what's like the reason for optimism if things go well for you this year? What would be the thing that makes you confident as a coach that this isn't going to just be a 2-game span of wins, but that we have the blocks in place?
I think just the guys in our locker room. They're older, they're mature, they handle adversity, they've been here for a long time, they've taken a lot of lumps, and they're ready to go. They know that we're good this year. They know what we have players. We're not cocky by any means, but we want to be confident in what we do, and we got to just keep working. And that's what they do every day, is they just work, whether it's on the field, off the field, in the classroom, all over the place. They just do their jobs, and they love being here.
Did you feel like a proud father when the troops were able to storm the field after the win in overtime?
It's always better to win than to lose, you know. It's good to see them have success. It's good to see their parents smile. It's good to see them having fun, and I think for us as coaches, that's what it's all about.
Well, it was a great crowd. The weather was great. Everything was wonderful, especially the overtime victory. So congratulations, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right, the 2-0 men's lacrosse team. This is assistant coach Sean Eccles. I'm Matt Provence, and we thank you for watching this production of Highlander Sports.